makers. Today's project is a snow panel, and I'm excited to show you my process video, but I forgot to film an intro for it. And so here's my intro. Leota says hello. She's here too. We are not in our studio. Our studio has actually been taken all apart, and we are in the dining room today. So as soon as you watch the process video, I will come back and we'll talk about all the details on this really fun snow piece. All right, so let's get making. Looking at this huge space to cover, I was super excited to turn to the Christmas Emporium Layers pack. There are 85 layers in this one pack, and I think it is so fun. These have a lot of things from Tim's personal vintage collection over the years of boxes, different Christmas boxes and Christmas things that he puts out as part of his decoration. And so how fun is that we get, you know, kind of something from Tim's personal collection. So I went through, and there are a lot of these cards. There are also quite a few frames, and I thought, well, how fun would it be to get out the square boxes and maybe use some of the frames or one of the frames. And then for this, I want to cover the top with some of the ones that are snow. So I can go around, and there are, oh, look at this. See, I can just do snow all over. Look at that guy. He needs to be in the corner so you can see him. I love him. Okay. So you get it, right? Just kind of go through, just adding the snow, artificial snow. Some of them are pink. Some of them are the red and green. It's all okay. It works great. So anyway, this was my thought, was to cover this thing like this, and however many I need, and then to put a box in the middle. And I would, of course, make sure I have all of this covered, but I don't want to have any underneath the box. So I'll draw a square, make sure that I cover the whole outside, and then inside the box, I will light it up. And I'll probably have a tree or two, depending on how much room I have. Thought I would use the baubles with glitter and some things like that. Just make a snowy scene, just snowy back in there. I could even use one of these inside the box somewhere probably too. And then light it up with tiny lights. And it should be a really fairly simple Christmas make that anyone can do. So I am doing one project this season that is very detailed, and then I always like to do one or two that are simple for a beginner or intermediate can, you know, put together quickly in an afternoon. This is going to be one of those. All right, so I'm super excited about it. Love all this. Can't wait to get started. So let's get making. Before you do anything, you need to go through the entire Emporium pack and pull out all of the imagery that you want to use on this piece. And then you just kind of start to puzzle piece it all together. So you can see I have some smaller pieces kind of on their sides, in the corners, filling in any of those spots that the larger pieces kind of left. And you can trim up pieces, that kind of thing. But just make sure that you have enough of all of those layers from the Emporium that it covers the entire wood surface along the outside. Again, the center doesn't matter so much. You're going to have the box there, but you do need to have any little spaces that might show wood through to be covered with some of that imagery from the layers pack. Now you can see that I am putting just a nice layer of Distress Collage Medium onto the wood, and you can even brush some on the back of the layers pieces. Then you're going to press them into place, and I'm trying to make sure that they're even against the edge. Then I'm wiping off any excess that comes out, and um, then pressing it down with my Teflon bone folder. And I even use little pieces like the little icicles there to fill in any blank spaces or any little places where even some of the wood might show through, just in case. I want to be sure it doesn't show through. You will find that sometimes the corners start to lift a little bit, even pressing it down with the bone folder and the towel. And that's okay. Just go back through, lift it up a little bit, put a little bit of the collage medium underneath and press it down again. And it'll stick, and use that Teflon bone folder to really press it into place and make sure there's a good connection between the wood and the back of the layer. Hey makers, just getting you up to speed on this one, and they are working on some trees outside, so if you hear chainsaw noises coming over, sorry about that, but I'm just pressing through, and I wanted to get you caught up on this one. So I have the background done. Let me pull all this stuff aside. I have the background all finished. So I think it's really fun. I just love all these snow elements. And I sanded the edges, so that's why there's kind of a white rim around the edge. And then I went over the sides with this green and red. I also covered the sides of this with the same green and red. So on a bigger scale, this is what the side of this looks like, okay? And so this is in the backdrops. This is the second to largest, or the middle square vignette box. Then I kind of like looked at the way that these mountains are and kind of drew that in and tried to make some chipboard match that, and I just glued that in and then went over it with some distress grit paste, opaque distress grit paste, and then sprayed it with glitter duster so that hopefully you can see it's sparkly and snowy in there. And then that should, and I painted it with speckled egg. So that's kind of what it looks like, but you can, I didn't do such a great job. You can kind of see down in that area right there. I don't know if you can see that. See that? So I'm going to go ahead and bring that out so that this comes out a little bit, and so that you can't see down in there. I'm going to be putting some trees in here. So there will be trees, lots of trees. These are some of the alpine. These are the little fat ones. Whoops. And they're stuck together because I'm going to tell you what I did to these. And I'm going to take the bottoms off. And I usually just twist the bottoms off of these. They're hot glue gunned on. So I'll usually take it, and you can either twist it off, or if you have wire cutters like this, I have some wire cutters. Usually I'll just go in and you just snip it off because you don't want that wire there. And then you can just glue these in right there like that. So that's what I'll be doing with all these when I am done with them. And probably wasn't smart of me to do that on 2 of them because I still have to spray them green. And it makes it hard when I don't. So I'll get some tweezers to hold these. Now, before I spray them green, I want to have snow on them that stays white. So I sprayed a piece of acetate with, I'll show you. I've already thrown it away, but I put in a splat box. I put a piece of acetate down. So it's just like you would use for your shaker cards or something like that. I put some acetate down, and I poured some Distress Resist spray onto it. And then I took all of these and I just rolled them in it. And I don't know if any of it's even showing up, but on the tips of a lot of these is Distress Resist spray that I'm hoping will keep it white when I spray these with Distress spray. You can see a little bit of it right there, and a little bit of it right there. See that? So I'm hoping it'll stay white. And even though this isn't white, so that when I spray it, then I can actually go over it with my finger and add a little bit of the mica flakes to these, since a lot of these are the snow. This says looks like real snow, mica, all of that stuff. I will be spraying these with bundled sage, and I'll show you how I do that. I'll try and do that on camera. The other things I'm adding, other than these trees in there, I cut this to practice. So this one I did not roll in the resist spray. I rolled this one, so I'm going to have to cut this the same way. But I cut these and shaped them so that they could go like this, and I can hot glue them onto the bottom. And then in the middle will be a bell, and then on the ends will be small bells. And these are from the line. So I'll just put some festive twine through there and tie those on so that there will be some bows there, and these will be tied on there. That up at the top, I'm thinking of having a snowman and just done in glitter. I was thinking about doing a Santa Claus and a snowman because we've got Santa and the snowman, but it didn't look right to have both of them. So I am not going to paint him because I want him to be snowy. This is all about snow. So I'm just going to paint him with Distress Collage Medium and glitter him. And that's all I'm going to do to him. So that'll be really, really simple. He's going to go up here. I am going to put Collage Medium on the rest of the baubles that I have from this release, from my one package I've been using for everything. So I'm going to put just Distress Collage Medium and roll them in glitter. And those are going to go on the top up here with some Distress Opaque Grit Paste in a patch and some snow. Or mica flakes, sorry. And then I think that'll be it. That's my update. So I'm going to continue working really quick because I want to get this in the mail to Tim and make sure that it gets finished. So let's keep making. To fill in the little areas that were kind of showing behind the window, I am just adding a little bit more of the opaque grit paste. And that way, when you look through the window from any angle, you're not going to see the holes and see all the way back. You'll just see snow. So that's what I'm doing here with my palette knife and my opaque grit paste, just filling in and making it look nice and snowy. Adding a little bit of Distress glitter with my glitter duster. And now I get to add even more snow. So this whole piece is hopefully a celebration of snow, and that's going to be shown in different ways. And this way is using my finger and my Distress Opaque Texture Paste. And I'm just adding snow all around the outside edge. And I'm just kind of tapping it on there with my finger all the way along the outside. Now, normally we add either distress crayons or ink or something along the edges of our projects. But this one, I just sanded the layers. You can see that there's an area all the way along that I sanded. And then now I'm just adding the snow. So there's no ink or there's nothing to bleed through. Um, it's just ready and perfect for me to be able to add just a little bit of that opaque snow. And then I'm going to go over it in a little while with some collage medium and some mica once it's already dry. So I'm letting it dry, and you can see that in some areas I'm kind of going in. I'm not just going on that corner edge. I'm going in just a little bit, kind of like snow would. So snow's not going to just be perfectly straight in a line. It's going to kind of come in a little farther in areas. And so even if there's maybe some areas of the imagery that isn't your favorite or that you might want to, I don't know, cover up a little bit, you could maybe add a little snow drift or something like that to it and cover that up. But this is actually really relaxing to do, and one of my favorite ways to add just a little bit of snow to a project. In the same way, before I attached the little box to the center of the two trays, I wanted to add some snow around the bottom of the box that's going to be closest to the tray because it's kind of hard to get into that little corner area. And so I added it before. And then this is the beginning of the snowdrift that's going to be on top of this box where the snowman and the baubles and all of those things are going to be placed. So I wanted to get that snowdrift started. And so while all that is drying, I need to get started on the snowman. And as I said, I'm not painting it, so I just covered it with a thin layer of collage medium and then added some Distress Rock Candy glitter to it. Set that aside to dry. And now I need to do all of the snowballs. So those are the baubles, and you can see I have some Distress Collage Medium on my fingers. I'm rolling the baubles in between my fingers, then dropping them in the glitter and just kind of rolling them around, getting them covered in glitter, and then setting them aside to dry. And then I just keep doing that. I did that to all of the rest of the baubles that I had in this set because I figured I might use all of them or not, but I wanted them all finished. All right, so I didn't show you how I colored the trees, but I did just spray them with bundled sage, and that resist spray that I rolled them in did add a little bit of resist to the tips. So now I'm adding Distress Collage Medium to the tips again as well. And you can see that I'm adding quite a bit. And now I put some mica flakes out onto the paper towel and I just roll the tree in it lightly. I didn't press it down too much. I just rolled it in the mica flakes and the collage medium will pick up the flakes and then just set them aside to dry. So you can see that I'm just very lightly kind of rolling the tree into the flakes so that it picks up some of those mica flakes and then set it aside. And then add a few more mica flakes, and I just keep going with the trees and the garland and all of the pieces that I'm going to be using on this. So, and you can see that I usually add just a little daub to the top because I like to cover up that wire that's at the top of the trees. And so usually I just add like that. I just add a little bit extra on the top of the tree, and then that always causes the flakes to stick to the top and it covers up those wires. So that's just a little, I don't know, something I always do. So here you can see again, just rolling, rolling, lightly rolling, not pressing down, but just rolling so that all that collage on the tips will stick to the little flakes and they look icy and beautiful. So I just continued until all the pieces were covered. With the trees and the garland done, it's now time to add some icy mica goodness to the edge of the large piece and the small box. So over that opaque grit paste, I am adding a little bit of Distress Collage Medium with my finger and then sprinkling the mica flakes onto it to have it stick. And that just adds to the white snow look. It just adds that little extra bit of icy goodness. So I'm trying to make room here. You guys have seen probably the little area where I was creating, and so I was doing my best with this large piece to be able to keep it in the frame for you to be able to see, and it was quite a task to be able to fit it. So hopefully my new studio, you will be able to see a little better and I'll be able to have the camera positioned a little bit better as well. But you can see this is so much fun to just add this collage medium and then sprinkle that sparkly, icy mica flakes on there. It's just magical. I absolutely love it. Makes such a beautiful icy look to things.
And continuing with the icy look, I have all of my typography letters out to be able to say snow, snow, snow. And I want to make them look glittery and icy, so I am just tapping a little bit of collage medium on the fronts of these and then dropping them into the Distress Rock Candy glitter, pulling them out and letting them dry. And so that's all there is to that. And you have enough letters in the typography to make all the snow words except for there's only two W's. So one of the W's is an upside down M, but the letters are a little wonky, and so it's okay. Nobody will know that one of your W's is an M. It'll all work out fine. So just keep doing that until you have a little bit of glitter on every single letter and they're all snowy. Now it's time to light things up. So I got out my Dremel and I drilled a little hole through the box and through the trays. And so I am threading the lights through. So the lights are going to be on the back of the trays, and you can see the hole there in the top corner. And now I got out one of my coffee stir sticks. That's all this is. And I'm just wrapping the lights around the coffee stir stick, but I'm making sure that the light bulb is on, they're all on one side, and then it's just wire on the back side. So it may look like I'm doing this very quickly, but I'm making sure I have those light bulbs all on one side, trimming off the excess of the coffee stir stick. And now I'm going to attach with my glue gun the side that had just the wire on it, and all the light bulbs will be facing down. See? There you go. And now it lights up beautifully. So just putting some finishing touches here, I added a piece of ephemera, that December 25th ephemera, popped it up with some foam squares, and I'm just gluing the front of the box on. And I'll put a little bit of snow on it and some more mica around the edge of it before I'm finished. And as soon as I'm done with that, I'll come back and we'll talk about it.
Let's go over some of the details now that the project is finished. I think the typography with the glitter there in the corner is really fun. And I put 3 snow, snow, snows because I always think of that song with, I think it's from White Christmas, snow, snow, snow. So this just kind of had the feeling of that whole White Christmas, movie and all that stuff. And so that's why I put that as kind of my sentiment, my title, whatever it is. I love all of the bold graphics all around the outside, and I'm glad that they just really shine. I didn't want to cover them up because I really wanted them to be the star of the show. But of course, you also need something more than just these, right? And so then that's where you have this box here on the front. We've got some, I put the trees in there. I added one piece of ephemera, popped up on a little bit of foam tape back there, just December 25th. I thought the red kind of pulled in from all around, and so I thought that really went well. I think this is just a fun little addition right there on the top with more mica. We've got the glittery baubles, the glittery snowman. All around the edge, we've got more glitter. We've got it on the box here as well. We lit it up. We've got a little bit of garland there at the bottom with those bells, the silver bells. And then I had a little bit of string there to it and added more mica flakes. The more mica flakes, the better. I just think mica is so great. And since it is the main topic of this whole thing, I think it's perfect. So I love this make. I think it's so fun. And it's big, right? It's bigger than our normal panel, which is 10 by 10. This is a 12 by 12 because I used the 2 trays, the 2 large trays. And then there's my battery pack just stuck on with a piece of foam tape. So that's it. I hope that this really encourages you that you can use your leftovers and that this is a vignette or a Christmas make that you can do. Anybody can do this. All right. It was really simple. Got it done very quickly. So I know that even if you're new to doing this, I hope that this video helps you walk through it and you'll go ahead and give it a try. They're so much fun to make. I really enjoy putting these things together. So, any questions? Go ahead and leave those in the comments for this video. And if you want any of these products and you haven't gotten them yet, but now you're inspired, I have a list of my affiliate links in the description for this video as well. And with that, I want to wish you a very creative day.